MMTs on the opening bell, and we had lots of MMTs involved in the trade. And some of the newer ones were able to go right here to the very top. This is when we put in that opening bell teeny bounce. This is where the electronic tape on the opening bell in the first 20 minutes, no matter what. See how it says 9:30 right here? And you see that shakedown, and then you undercut to the teeny. So what? You come down, you come up in the brain. Everything started to ascend correctly. That means that everything was clicking on being clicking. So basically the diamonds start showing up here because I only went back 200 bars. This is the morning movement, and we were ascending above. We were holding half bars above, but we were holding that teeny line. When you hold price teeny line and start to bounce, you can see the thing that always has to happen is that next 3-minute bar has to be violently good, and it has to turn up in the brain like that. Bam. You don't wait for one to go below it. It has to be the immediate bar following a distribution bar off of a low. The next bar, price action. And continue it. That's a wick. That's a teeny down. The system, so what if it comes a teeny down? You were still elevated, fairly decent. The IR was above 35. Then the IR got up to a peak up here at 97, but when it pulled back to 35, which it did in here, there was one that it pulled back because there's all kinds of alerts. We had a 35 in there. But when you pull back and you hold that ratio above 35, that's the lowest end because it's very weak at that time. So let's not confuse you. Let's confuse you with only one thing to make clarity is that half bar, that teeny drop down, the closing bar above, closing bar above, closing bar above. Elevation in the IR, elevation in your, so what are you looking for the elevation in? You're looking at where the bid and ask trend ratio, which is yours, holds there. You're looking at where the current ratio holds and doesn't want to go lower, but as it ascends in value, that's ascending in value like this. This is going to keep going higher but on the pullback side of things, when they have their little 3-minute jiggles, it's still elevated. So, understanding that it takes 3-minute, 6-minute, 9-minute, 12-minute, 15 to equal a 15-minute bar. If you're watching the 15-minute bar, MMTs, as you can see here on the 15-minute chart, that you came down here, you bid pop, but here's the 15-minute buy bar. This is where everything started to change in your brain on the 15-minute level. And once again, when we were putting that bottom in right here, we were also putting the bottom in over here on the 3-minute, as you can see. Okay? I'm trying to just keep both parts of the move here where you can see it in the video. So here you go. You made the move. You made the move here off of the 3-minute, and that gave you the signal. Over here, you can see in the video here on the 15-minute, when you get a big wick like that, that means you went down to 0 in that IR and you pop that bid and ask ratio pop. You talk about a turnaround. That was the bottom. It's half of that wick that counts on a 15-minute. You can see that explosive 15-minute bar above that 15-minute bar, but everything in the brain was ascending in its value. You were only 0.57 negative. Look at the movement here. So you can see that bottom, but look at how many, I got to keep it all in the video. 15-minute buy bar here, and 3-minute, 6-minute, 9, 12, that's to the 15-minute bar there. That equaled that bar. When we gapped up above it and we held it, that's where the narrow range 15 bar was holding the high and everything was elevated and you stay long the name. As you went up on a 15-minute delta and held the higher delta always and don't break or close below it, you stay in. There's no need to sell the winner. When you throw up that next 15-minute bar, you had 15, 30, 45, 60 minutes of nothing but pure breakout at the end of the move and closing up toward the high MMT. Now, at the same time that was happening, you were putting in all-time highs in that directional movement because this is the broader movement of the 3-minute. And part of this 15-minute move here late in the day is part of this secondary. This is all of the original breakout. That's a real bottom. They come every single day, MMTs. Every day. every day. Once they shake that out and you can see that 3-minute buy signal, that's the low over here. That's part of that 15. That's part of this 15-minute wick right there. You can see here that on a 3, you're bouncing the bigger bars. Everything is ascending, and the brain tells you to stay long. And you're building here on that level, and everything is up at the highs. There's no need to come out. That's why during the live trading day, when you're in the, if you don't tell me and other MMTs and you're selling over here, you get in over here, but you're selling here, look at the big move. You just gave up 29 cents, 1/8 delta. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 28 pennies is what you gave up. These lines are market maker price lines. The public engages in the middle. And you can see where you breakout was the last 15 to 30 minutes would be right over here. So it takes 5 of these. It takes 10 of these bars to equal 2 of the 15-minute bars. So you know that when you're elevated and you're breaking out there, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of those equal what? 15-minute bar is 5 and 15-minute bar is 10. But you came up and you put the high up there, but this is where that move happened. And when you're elevated, and that delta, the 1/8 is holding. This is the teenies over here. The 1/8 has got more price support. You can't break below them. You can't close below them. You got to stay long. And identifying bottoms and identifying tops and identifying the ranges, identifying identity equals price action bottom. They took them all out. They took it up. It was a great short. Then it failed. But guess what? When it got made here, it also got made on the 15-minute. And that bounce off of there told you that you were holding up here on a 1/8 delta movement. You were almost a full 1/8 movement off of the bottom, and that is strength. And you were ascending, and up the hill. And up the hill I go, and up the hill I go long. And then at the top, I get that last part of that move, and I'm ringing that cash register on Apple. And that 3-minute breakout is with me all the way, and your MMT profits are soaring. And that's the gift of understanding a bottom and how not to be shook out and how to use the MMT platform.